city manager and form of government. But we know we have this form of government now. This is what we have to work with, and have to work and to operate properly. The mayor and the city manager have to work together. Any other discussion?
I guess my concern is kind of the same as mine. I don't know, in the last 7 months, I still agree that this is a good form of government. It still needs to be tweaked in whatever we do. But I've kept all the emails and I've kept all the correspondence, and my concern is the fact that everything that I read and my impression and my interpretation has been very condescending. It's derogatory, it's divisive. It's kind of hard to get on the same page when we can't even have a conversation with each other. We're not working together. I don't know going forward if we keep. I don't know of anything. The statement that was read earlier, it apologized and then kind of took it away. And that's and that's my concern going forward. It's kind of my interpretation, and it's my interpretation. It's kind of a half-hearted apology. True. And I'm not convinced that that's going to be able to be changed. I think he greatly underestimates how divisive his words have become to us and the citizens, and how he talks to people. And it's not my style at all. And whether or not we keep him or not, I'm almost inclined to call it a day and move on, because I just don't know if we can work together. I really don't. I mean, you've got a grown, educated man, and I've got to try to talk to him about being careful not to write a letter somewhat accusing elected officials of lying. I got a problem with that. And I don't have the time or the desire to hold anybody accountable. I shouldn't have to educate. I shouldn't have to talk about it. If you don't know the right thing to do, God bless you, but you got to move on. And I'm just as capable of making mistakes and making people upset. And, that's part of it. But I think I know how to talk to people. Sometimes you have to get on your knees and say, look, I apologize, I made a mistake. It's just not how you talk to people. Everybody's due respect. I don't think that's his intent, but that's what he's done. And I think that's kind of where we are. And I think we have to give that some serious consideration. That's just my opinion.
Mayor, can I ask Alderman Carruthers, it was your agenda item, and it was originally discussed as, I believe it was punitive measures. What that sort of morphed into a resolution to dismiss. Was that your intent, or did you have something else in mind?
Well, originally I wanted to discuss what level of discipline we do, whether it be a letter of reprimand or whether we do a termination. And I think it's morphed into termination. I'm of the opinion that we have to do something. We can't continue operating like this at all.
I have to agree, Mike. As difficult as the whole transition's been, it's only been exacerbated by the fact that our mayor, the elected official, has had a very difficult time with, and I've spoken personally with the mayor, and he's been at fault many times on the issue. But the point being is that we have to have cohesion. We got to be able to work together. I don't see this getting better. I just don't. I don't see this relationship getting better. And I just feel like it's going to be a huge obstacle to continue to try to overcome. I see Mr. Christie. I appreciate his professionalism. I appreciate his knowledge because he brings a lot to the table. But I also see him being very frustrated with a bunch of novices up here. And we can't have that. I mean, personally, you know, we need his help. We don't need to be condescended to, okay? What we need is help, all right? And I just don't see that changing. I see this personality conflict as something that's not going to change. And I see Mr. Christie not very happy, personally. And it might be time for him to move on.
Any other discussion?
What's the resolution?
Resolution is the termination of the city manager of Millington, Tennessee.
Do you have a plan for the next step?
I've talked to several people that we can be in touch with and are willing to take the position as an interim, and then we can start the process with HR. Are you able to start a process for national look?
Can I ask the process under our charter for appointing an interim, because it says they have to be a city official? Has that been defined, and how, I mean, as you pointed out, there's certain flaws in our charter